want to thank you everybody that has subscribed so far for doing the 60 subs. This is, one of the milestones that we learned. I don't have high hopes. I don't have high hopes of actually getting anywhere far, but it's just some fun hobby to just post once in a while and see how my channel grows. Anyway, enough of this. I've actually been playing Need for Speed Heat for a few days now. I think it's been a week, and I have some progress in it already. I've gotten decently far. I don't know how long the story is in this game, but I've been playing quite a bit. And I don't know, it's a nice car. I've understood what I got is one of the better cars in the game, but I like the Chevrolet one, the one that the police use, which is very different. The Corvette, that one is a bit better, just the mechanic is much more. This car is a little steeper whenever the drive the turn, just feels like it doesn't want to go whenever you're steering. So you sometimes have to use the handbrake even for a smaller turn, and you have to brake for these 90-degree turns. So I'm personally a big fan of this car, but it's the fastest I've got and it's still not using, so I can see if I can upgrade it. Right now I'm grinding for the best engine this car has to offer, which is the one that costs 576,000, that is the last in the list anyway, so that's pretty bad giveaway that is the best for this car. Although I've had a surprise with the Lotus, I think there's only one of them in the game, but yeah, I have a surprise with the Lotus that the best engine was actually around the middle section, and to this day I actually still have that car in my garage with that engine, and it's still solid. It has like 315 score feet in it. And this car that I'm using right now, it uses the basic engine and comes with the pipe. It's pretty stacked with upgrades. It's got a liter plus but it only offers 350 something, I believe. Like, oh, 365. So I'm saying that since the Lotus is a cheap car and you can get it really early in the game. I think I've had it ever since I was level 19. No, I've had it since I was level 10 and I got the last engine when I was level 19. And it made every single race so much easier. I guess I was just lucky on picking cars because I saw it and I was like, this seems like an exotic car I would like to use. It's probably one of the better cars I've used ever since I played this game. And then I got myself a Lamborghini and I was like, what the fuck is this car? I can't even drive it. Hello to whoever just joined the stream. No, there is some delay, so... or I should likely open the comments in my so now I am playing on the easy because it's not like I saw him on the map, that man. So like I was saying, oh god, my vehicle is falling apart, look at the plan. Anyway, about this game, do I think it's a good game? I'm saying it's pretty damn nice, but I still think Payback is much better since the last one that came out. But this game, the cops are literally on steroids. If you get to hit 3 and you're a low level or you have a low level car, you're not going to be able to escape because that's when the Chevrolets start appearing and those cars go like 300 kilometers an hour. You need to go really fast and you can only escape them in a straight line because if you take many turns, you're gonna slow yourself down, and they are much faster than you. Now, a really good trick which I've learned lately is that if you go to the stadium, next to the garage at the beginning of the game, there's the stadium, and if you do backwards laps on it, so that would be taking right turns, if you just have a decently fast car, you can escape the cops in about 3 or 4 laps, just doing the same thing all over again, just driving in a circle. And eventually they start despawning, and whoever's behind you will lose you, because I don't know why, but they do weird turns or something. I think I'm not sure what they do, but they lose you very easily. So once you get around 280 kilometers an hour or something like that, even the Chevys never loses. I think they try to take turns on the inside of the track, so not on the sideways part, but on the inside. And there's a bunch of obstacles which they may hit. So I think that's what they're slowing them down. They have to go around, and eventually they just despawn, because if you have a lot of cops in your tail, the game doesn't render a wall once they leave the bubble around your car, which shows where they can see you. So I think that's what the actually happened. But I'm not complaining, it's a really good strategy if you want to escape from this. If I were to choose between this Porsche and the Corvette, I think I would choose the Corvette. Much more handling and just looks way better in general. Now, I think that during this stream I want to showcase all 3 cars, the Lotus, the Corvette and this Porsche, with a weird name, I'm not sure what it's called, the RTX something, or the RTS. I'm not a car fan, they go boom and they can outrun opponents, then I like the car, I'm not an enthusiast for numbering everything, so I will struggle from time to time, especially with the weird names or the more unusual cars. But ever since I equipped the drifting energy, I think that's the differential which I changed from my normal track to the showcase one, and that gives me a tad bit more drifting, which kind of helps me with these turns, because with drag differential I could barely do any turns. Like, the car was fast, yes, sure, but I could barely turn. I would crash every 2 or 3 turns and I'd lose my first place pretty fast. I'm not sure if I can actually change the difficulty of the game after I start the campaign, but easy seems a little too easy. If you just have a car that's 20 or 30 points higher than what the race recommends, you can usually just outrun the other guys with like 1 kilometer or even 2 kilometers by the end of the race. So I think that easy is pretty imbalanced, because if you have a good car it's way too easy, and if you have a bad car it seems like you're playing on a hard difficulty. So for some reason I've noticed that the AI in this game really tend to get in front of you and stop in the middle of the road when they're going fast for no reason. Either they're stupid or it's not intentional so that you crash a lot. But from my experience they do it all the time and it's really annoying. Because like let's say I'm going on the highway, two-lane highway, I'm going like 300 kilometers an hour, and there's this one AI on the road. I'm on the second lane, he's on the first lane. If he sees me coming at 300 kilometers an hour, he's going to turn left and stop in the middle of the road. And I simply don't see any logic in his actions. I think that it's just done intentionally to stop him. Especially in the harder races where you actually have to compete and you're just now like 1 kilometer in front of the other guy, like you can see in the leaderboard. The guy in the second place is 1 kilometer then something behind him. Now if you will excuse me a second, okay. I really don't like blue screening this terrain, but I sometimes have to do it to check certain things. Okay, so that's this race done. Okay, this one seems like a race I would want to do. I'll go there and I think I'll change to the Corvette. So then I do this one. Seems like a good race. Is this okay? It's a lap race. And then I think I'll come to this one, do this one as well, and then I'll just see next. But I'll have to do a lot of money grinding because the engine for this is really expensive. Although I would want to check something. I don't think I can see it right now. Oh yeah, I can. Oh, never mind. You can't buy any things, unfortunately, if you're not in the garage. But you can still check to see what you have. Before I started the stream, I had some weird rap on this car, and it looked like the car was always pulling right because of how the wrap was made. It looked pretty much identical to this one, just that it only had a stripe on the left, and it made the car seem like it was pulling to the right for no reason. And it gave me a mindfuck because I wanted to go in a straight line, and my brain was telling me to pull left because the car is going right by itself. And I just failed the races because of this. So then I found this one, and it's pretty much identical. Give me a second, my TV is going to turn off, which is really annoying. Okay. So then I found this one, which actually has both stripes, and it's much better. Although I think that's something glitched out because I don't think this is how the wrap looked like in the editor. I think the two wraps actually combined themselves. Because I don't think this one had the Toyo tires on the back windshield. Whatever that's called. Oh, nice past the race. Although I'm doing this heavy bit of grinding right now, but I think I should be actually playing the story more because I've only played so many missions from the story. I did 2 missions before the stream for whatever the girl's name is, the night missions, and then like 3 or 4 more missions daytime in total ever since I started the story. So I feel like I should do more story missions and stop actually grinding because my cars are already good when it comes to performance. Shit. Oh, I remember this race. I think I remember this race, and if I do it correctly, then it's pretty short and I should be able to finish it reasonably fast. Now I generally look at the money reward for races. Some of them are a lot longer, but they give double the amount of money a normal race would give. And I feel like it's much more worth it to do a longer race. So let's say double in the length, but gives double the amount of money, because I'm doing the race constantly. But if I were to do 2 of the shorter races, I have to travel between them. So let's say I do a race in the city, and then there's one more race for the exact same price somewhere over here in the middle of the map. So I actually have to travel between the 2 races and play both of them. While if I do one big race, then I'm constantly doing it and I have to go to the next one. And I'm getting the same exact amount of money, so yeah. High-paying races are always welcome in my opinion. Though it seems to have been running low lately. I think I have to do more missions to unlock more rewarding races. Because the ones I have right now are pretty limited to what I've been already playing the past 2 or 3 days. So I feel like I really should start playing more story missions to unlock more races. I did unlock the drift modes, which I don't really like because there's no actual racing going on, and you're just drifting, and they're not as rewarding as these normal races. They only give about $20,000 mostly, but these other races, like you've seen before, can go up to 60,000 as of now, and I'm sure they'll go even higher once I progress with the story, but right now 60,000 is the highest I've had. Okay, so I was saying that this car's handling is pretty bad, but since I equipped the showcase differential, my drifting has actually been a lot better. It's improved quite a bit, and I can actually take these steeper turns as well now. Because when I had a car maxed out for racing and road, it was literally right in the corner. I could barely take any turns. It would be so stiff when it came to drifting. It would just not want to engage in a drift, and I'd eventually just go off-road and lose a lot of time. But right now it's pretty darn easy to take these corners. I also have to get used to the car because I've been using the Corvette a lot, just because I like the handling of the car a lot more. And just the general aspect of the car, because I want to have a car in blue, which is the Lotus, which I've had for the longest time now. The Corvette, which is red and black, and this one, which is this grey and green. I would have a car in each color. And after this, after I finish the game and I get a Koenigsegg from level 50, I think, I'm not sure, but I'm either going to start collecting exotic cars, which are either not really known by people, or I'm going to start collecting the ancient cars, if I shall call them that. The older cars, which are really cheaper, like 10,000 bucks, but they've been made like in the 70s, and they're just fun to have. They have no purpose in racing because they're ass. They're worse than the starter car, but they just look nice and they're fun. So I'm not sure if I want to collect exotic cars or if I want to collect the classic cars, because I think that there are limited slots in your garage, so I cannot do both. I think there's like 8 slots, which you can fill with cars, or like 6. I could technically do this race again because it still has 48 grand on it. And there's not many good races, so I think it will be a smart move to do the... Yeah, I think I'll do the race again, but this time with the Corvette, because I forgot to switch cars initially. So, change car L1, okay. I'll switch to the Corvette, which is the very first one. Now, from what I've heard, the Ford Mustang, which is one of the starter cars, is the worst of all 3 of them which you can choose, and it's literally the one I started with, just because Mustang sounds nice. So I thought it would be a good car, but from what I've heard, it's actually one of the worst cars. And this is the Lotus, which 349, it's even more than I remembered, is a pretty good car for, I think that $100,000 or $200,000, which is the price you can buy it for. And then the rest of the upgrades, which probably cost me another 400,000 to 500,000. But that was done over time, and I had to switch from like Pro Plus to Super, and then from Super to Super Plus, and it just cost me a lot more than if I just did it all at the highest level at the same time. So this is the Porsche, and I said I want to do with the Corvette, and if the race is still if the race is still more rewarding after this one, after this run, then I'm gonna do one run with the with the Lotus as well. Because that's one car I promised I will never get rid of. First of all, because it's barely going to give me any money if I sell it. Second of all, because it's a really good car and I can actually use it to this point. Pretty much just like any other car. And I'm surprised nobody actually talks about it. Like, I've never seen anybody use the Lotus. I've seen everybody use BMWs, the Beamers, or the Lamborghinis. Even the Porsche I was using earlier. I heard it's one of the better cars in the game. But I don't actually hear much about the Lotus. I've never seen anybody use it. And I think that if you upgrade it all the way to max, it's one car that can actually take you at the end of the game. Like, I think you can beat the story with just using the Lotus. And like I said, visually this Corvette is much more... it's much nicer than the other car, the Porsche. Quick fun fact, in the older GTAs, the Porsche cars were actually named Porca Turbo because they had copyright issues. So Rockstar just named them Porca Turbo and it's a funny name. What the fuck, that thing was flying. Yeah, so I do not know if you can see it, but whenever you're actually driving, it feels a lot better to drive this car than the Porsche. I can take the much more abrupt turns by just steering and not actually drifting. Like this, oh god. Like this turn over here, on the bridge. Usually I'd have to, or not on the bridge, but on before the bridge, I'd actually have to drift with the Porsche, but with this one I can just take a normal turn. Now for these 90-degree turns I do actually have to drift with this car as well, but it's not a big deal. I think that it's a lot better than the Lotus. The Lotus loses a lot of speed whenever you drift, and that's one of its major drawbacks. You cannot really drift, but the handling on that car is probably one of the best in the games. You can literally do a 90-degree turn by just steering. Of course, not on a one-lane road, because those are way too thin, but on these two-lane roads, you could easily do a 90-degree turn by just steering, not actually drifting at all. The Chevy is actually my second favorite, and then the Porsche is my third just because I don't have any other car I'm using. The Aston Martin I got from one of the missions before is probably one of the worst I've driven in the game, and I will not go back. I'm not selling just because I'm not earning any money, since I got the car by doing a mission. I didn't pay anything for it, the game doesn't give me any money if I sell it. So there's no point in selling it right now. I'm just keeping it because it's one car I didn't pay anything for, and it's not asking me for anything, just to sit in the garage. Just now realized I haven't been using my nitro a lot, and I generally don't use my nitro a lot in these low ranked races because there's not much need for it. Like you can see, the guy in the second place, Rico, is literally 2 kilometers behind. I don't like the red dust that comes behind the car, and with the mostly black themed vehicle, it really goes well together. I actually took some snapshots in game, and I want to look at them after this race to see how they yeah. I'm having a brain fart. Just to see how they look and how nice they are. Okay, my final lap, and I'm going to finish this race with a final time of around 4 minutes and 30 seconds. 4 minutes and 29.75 if I saw that right. Nope, 8.2, it still kept running a bit after I saw it turn 7.5, okay then. Now, if this race is still above 40,000, I'll do one more run with the Lotus. Now it's 32,000. I feel like there's much better races I could do, like this one and this one. Let's see how many good races. Oh god, this one is 340. My Lotus is 339. I would not do a race with the Lotus on that rating, although it's pretty much the same, 339 and 340. Whenever I have the same rating, usually the game makes it so that it's not as easy. But if you have like 20 rating over the recommended, usually the game just makes it a lot easier on you. Wait a minute. What the fuck? I just discovered something new. So I can actually use my arrows to change between the races. I can change between the ratings actually, not the races. So I can go to a higher or lower rating. Oh, look at this. The 281 is more rewarding than the 331. Never mind, I'm actually doing this race. Can I actually change it right now, or does it not let me? Can I not change it? How do I do this? Give me a second, guys. I actually want to see how I can do this. How do I change? I don't think it lets me. I think that after oh wait. Oh, I was in that menu and that's why it didn't let me. Okay, so I select this one and change car because I do not want to use this one again. My good old trusty Lotus X Siege. I think that's how you pronounce it at least. With a 339 rating, pretty damn good car since I've had it, whenever I bought it, I think its rating was 170. And with the highest engine possible, which I think is the third or fourth one in the list, I managed to get it up to 340 almost. And if I put one more upgrade on it, if I continue upgrading it, because this car has not been upgraded in a long time, just because I've been focusing on the Chevy and on the Porsche. If I fully upgrade this car, I think I can take it to a maximum of maybe 370. Anyway, at least 350 I can take it. If I upgrade it all the way to the maximum without counting the Ultimate Plus upgrades. Or the Ultimate ones, as a matter of fact, because I don't have those either. But if I equip it with, oh yeah, the handlings, I think it's pretty damn nice. I'm going to cut this guy off a bit, or I just try to overtake this guy. Okay, my car is for some reason struggling a bit against the weighty guy. Like I did not struggle this much the race before, so I don't think so. But it makes sense that other car is like 30 rating more than this one. Actually, after I've used the Corvette, I'm not sure which car is more maneuverable. I think this car is pretty much the same as the Corvette, although that car is a bit faster. And I feel like I should not upgrade this car. I should focus on getting the best engine for the Corvette so I can max upgrade it. And then I could maybe get a Corvette or 400 plus, because I think that the starting rating is somewhere in the lines of 350 I think it was. Starter rating. So if I can manage to get it to the best engine, which of course has Elite Plus points, except for the turbo, which I have to upgrade myself. If I do that, I might be able to get it close to 400 rating. Although at this point, I should probably just try to get the Reputation 15 that by the coins. Because that fucking car has a 10 rating on everything, even night life. 10 power, 10 acceleration, 10 high speed, which is pretty damn interesting for a car I can unlock this easily. Like, I think I'd go for a lot more trouble if I try to upgrade the current cars than if I just try to unlock the Koenigsegg, because I think I'm level 46, yeah? And 50 is the max level for the unlock that car. So I'm not sure, I think I'll this race, I'll go tonight and try to get it. Because I can easily do pretty much around or without actually dying. Let's have the self-repair kit, which allows me to basically save myself when I'm 1 foot in the grave. I cannot say how many times I've died to bodies. I cannot say how many times I've been arrested because my car broke down because I didn't see any gas station nearby. It also took me a while to realize that gas stations actually get better in the car. I had to see a hint in order to look at this to actually realize. Now, if I were to upgrade this car one more time, the only thing I do is to put 4 cans of mine instead of 3. Because this is nothing more. The only car I have which doesn't have 4 cans of mine, except for the Aston Martin and the Starter car which I have since I got this car. Imagine being on the 5th race and then you see the guy from the first place. That's the moment you realize you should stop racing. Or you should start participating in more races. Not because I cannot participate in those myself, just because I want to do it, because it's not worth it. It's actually funny that I can still choose to play in the $6,000 races. Like, who would do that? Considering I already have like 300,000 in my bank account, and the races which allow me to get up to 300,000. I mean, 60,000. Okay, so this race is okay. So both of them are 42,000 now, and these are even worse. Oh god, 140 race. I think I could participate in this one with my Mustang. I think I actually did this race with my Ford Mustang. I'm not sure. Okay, let's see which races pay the most. 48 grand. What's this one called? Farah. Interesting. That's the name of the girl from Modern Warfare 2019. 30,000. 25 grand, 28. I saw one with 60 grand over here. Oh yeah, this one. It actually shows me in the pinkish color that I'm under what I should be for this race. But I do not think that's a problem for me, is it? Yeah, so this actually opens up a lot more opportunities for me that I realized I can actually switch between races. Because I thought that once a race upgrades to a higher ranking, you cannot go back to the lower ranking one, like this 160 for example. I thought that the moment it upgrades to 340, it's stuck there. I never noticed that there's the option to change back to the shittier races. Because this actually gives me the opportunity to buy a fucking pickup truck from the 40s and do a race on reputation level 46. Anyway, I said I'm going to be going there. There. Can I change my car right now? I don't think it lets me. I have to get to the race. I missed the right there. Never mind, it doesn't matter. Oh yeah, and another thing I don't like about the Lotus, it loses a bunch of speed off-road. It's basically customized to max racing, max road. So the moment I go off-road, I lose like 100 kilometers an hour of speed. I have played a race that goes on this road so many times that the moment I saw the houses on the sides of the road, I knew exactly where I was. Because one problem I see with this game is the fact that some of the old races, which pay like 6 grand, stay the same during the whole walkthrough of the game. And some of them upgrade constantly, and then you like miss out on the lower level races. Because there's one race around here. I don't know if I can find it right now. I think it's this one. No, it's not this one. This race. I think that this is one of the races which I played the most. I think I have like 15 finishes on this race. More than I have on any other race. Just for the simple fact that every time I do a story mission or anything in particular, like getting a few levels, this race would upgrade from whatever it was, let's say 10,000 to like 40,000, and why am I hitting every single car coming from the other lane? Now, I'm not complaining that the race is giving me a bunch of money, I'm complaining by the fact that it's literally the same race I've been playing for a few days now, just for the fact that it's the only one that's upgrading in price. I think I'm starting to learn why the Lotus is getting outdated. The acceleration is not bad, but I think that the Corvette just feels a lot better. Okay. Back. Change car. I'm not sure which car I want to use. The Aston Martin is completely outclassed. I think it's the second worst car I have over the default car, which obviously is going to stay bad. The Lotus has a 8.4 acceleration, which is really good for... I think I got to 8.4 acceleration when I was level 15. Not level 15, level 20 to 25, somewhere there. Because now I had the upgraded engine, which is really good. Even the Porsche has 8.2, not 8.4. But it wins up on power and... Oh yeah, this is why the Lotus is so bad, it barely has any power. I just now realized. Yeah, it only has 2.4. So that's the reason why if you go off-road it barely pulls its own weight. And instead, oh yeah, this one has a 7.4, which is the reason why it doesn't lose out on speed whenever it goes off-road, although being a full race and road car. This one is the Ford, which is pretty much in the middle. This is my most balanced car, I think, yeah. But I hate it, fuck it. This Mustang is probably one of the worst cars I've ever driven. The Lotus, on the other hand, like I said, it's my first car I've ever bought after the default car, and I fell in love with it instantly. Although it was weird for me at first, because the Mustang is pretty much just like the Porsche. If you upgrade it too much, then you won't be able to take turns. That's pretty much what the Lotus, the opposite of the Lotus when I bought it. It would take turns so quickly. I didn't even need to use my handbrake to take the steeper turns. And it was so maneuverable, and the handling was so great. I literally thought the car itself was bad, but it turns out just the Mustang was complete ass. On a side note, I think I should clean my PS4 sometime soon, because it sounds like it's already struggling to run. I've cleaned it I think 1 year ago, and by cleaning I don't mean I just blew some air from a compressed air breaker. I actually dismembered it and cleaned it thoroughly, and after that I could barely hear it. But I think I have to clean it again because it's starting to struggle again. It's not making too much noise, but if I listen carefully, it sounds like it's having a problem probably pulling itself down. Because the fan inside of it is, I don't know, it just attracts so much dust. I cleaned it last year pretty much completely, if not completely, because I think I disassembled all of it and there was no dust left. at least in the more important places, and didn't check the motherboard and everything else in the back, but whatever was in the front, the radiator and everything, those things were pretty much clean. And I think that not even a week after I cleaned it, it was already full of dust again. Because I live in this shithole country of Romania, and yeah, there's a bunch of dust over here, especially in my city. And I can literally clean it right now. In 5 minutes, it's already gonna be dust settled on top of the PS4. So, if you're not gonna clean it thoroughly, there's no point in cleaning just a bit. You either clean it completely, and then yeah, it's gonna run a lot better. It's not gonna crash so often, and it's just gonna load up games and everything much faster because it was struggle so much. Or I don't clean it at all. Because if I just pull out like, let's say, one fingernail worth of dust from it, then it will just settle back down in, let's say, 10 minutes. That's how much dust there is over here. Also, I should probably try to get to level 47 and upgrade this car to the best engine it has, because I feel like this is much better than the Porsche. I feel like I should sell the Porsche and focus up on this car more. It's so much cooler, like even the design of it is so much better, it looks so much nicer. But the Porsche, I've had some problems when I first used it. Although I should actually keep the Porsche for now, because I think it has a lot of potential, since the Porsche's maximum engine has 364, I think, rating. Well, the car is gonna have that rating if I change it to the best engine, but it uses the stock turbo, so if I upgrade it to the Elite Plus turbo, or the Elite, whichever one is the best before Ultimate, then I should pretty much be able to make the Porsche 400 plus. Although the handling really lacks, and I feel like I do not want to drive a car that's really fast but cannot take turns. Although I'd definitely say if I can unlock the Koenigsegg anytime soon, I think that would be the priority over upgrading the engine. Although it's a pretty expensive car, if I remember correctly, I've seen it listed for 1,100,000 bank. Wait, so how much is this race? 38,000? Should I do it again? I'll do it again, fuck it. Now, I'm sorry if I'm making this stream really repetitive with the races, but there's not many good races around town, so I feel like I'd rather do this one, which is 40,000, than go across the map or lose like 5 minutes just not doing anything, so I can get to a race which only has like 5,000 more. If it's a difference, like this one is 48,000 and the other race is like 61,000, then it may be worth it to go to that one instead of doing this one again. But if it's not that big of a difference between two races, I don't think it's worth it to go to the next one. Yeah, so this is one thing I don't understand on the easy difficulty. Why at the beginning, before you overtake the guy in the first place, it's so hard, and then it just gets so easy. You're gonna be like 1 kilometer in front of him, and you can literally go to take a snack and it's still be in the first place. By the end of most free lap races, I end up lapping the guys in the last 3 or 4 places. Like, I'd technically be on the 4th place. But I already left the guys. If that makes any sense, I don't know. I think that's some weird way of explaining shit. I don't know. This one turn here is pretty much the only one I'm failing, and I'm doing it just because I do not like slowing down. I do not slow down for anybody and anything. Fuck life. I'm speedy. No, that's made the joke when he doesn't have any logic in English. One thing I hated about languages is that you can make a really good joke in a language and then have no logic in another language. Like, make no sense at all. But in itself, if explained, then it would be really funny. But nor just by itself, it would not make any sense. Like, you have to explain it. If you say it in another language. Yeah, so pros and cons of the Lotus over this car. Pros, I think it accelerates a lot faster. I'm not sure if the rating is better on this car. I cannot think right now. But I think that the Lotus accelerates a tad bit faster. Disadvantages, the power is complete ass. It has like 2.4 power, which means two things. First of all, it's going to start slowing down. It won't be able to accelerate as fast when it goes over 200 kilometers per hour. It's just gonna accelerate. Oh fuck! I didn't mean to hit the handbrake. Once it hits 200 kilometers an hour, it's going to accelerate a lot slower, although having the highest acceleration I have right now. And the other thing it means is that it's going to lose out a lot off-road. Pros of the Lotus over this car, I actually have no idea. I think it's a bit more maneuverable. I think it was cheaper. I actually know the Corvette, I think, was only 100 or 200,000. And in order to get it to this level, I only spent like 400 more thousand in upgrades. Well, of course, considering the fact that I didn't have to buy Pro and the Pro Plus and the Super and the Super Plus, I bought the highest I could at the same time. I didn't do what I did with the Lotus, which I started off with the lower upgrades and then I built my way up. For this car I literally just went all the way to Super Plus and now I'm on Elite. So it definitely cost me a bit less. Now how much is this race? Okay, 42,000. It seems to be pretty much linear when it comes to these races. I feel like I want to do one more race and then I'm gonna go into night. Maybe two more races if I'm willing to do that one again. Actually, I don't think I've done that one yet. But 62,000 is not a bad amount of money. I get to level 50 and on inside. Well, I didn't unlock it, I just... well, I do unlock it, but I still won't be able to buy it. Because it's expensive as fuck. But if I could buy the Koenigsegg right now, and I only did like $100,000 more, I would definitely sell the Porsche for it. The Lotus and the Chevy, I would not, for two simple facts. First of all, I really like these two cars, and second of all, they don't really give much money for selling them. The Aston Martin doesn't give anything because I didn't actually buy it, and the Ford is the starter car and you can't sell it. I don't know if I said that already, I'm pretty much mind back lately. Okay, I'm gonna need a second to remember which race this is. Oh yeah, I remember this race. I think, give me a second. Oh yeah, I remember this race. I played it yesterday as well. This is one of the races like the one I was talking about earlier, which resets its amount of money a lot, so you're basically gonna see yourself playing this race and the other one pretty much every time you level up, like 5 levels. You're going to see these races come back and play. I've already got that thingamajig, always watching. Okay, the razor behind me, I should probably stop messing about because one little mistake and I could end up in the last race again like earlier. Oh shit. Talking about mistakes. Who the fuck is 8 feet? I've never seen him before in my races. I know they're just bots, but it seems weird how they just come and go. A few races ago I had some fucking I'm not sure if there's a man or a woman, but by the name it could be either. I think the name was Evie, E-V-Y, and all I can see is that he or she was a piece of fucking shit. It was probably one of the most aggressive racers in the races that he or she participated in. Every time I'd go by his or her side, every time I went by their side, they would basically ram me, and there I end up on the 8th place again, because I got rammed by a piece of shit. And the most annoying part wasn't that I was getting rammed, the most annoying part is that they were on the last places at all times, like they would never go further than the 5th place. So I could not leave the lower places because I was getting rammed every time. And that was the first time I've actually seen an aggressive driver in the Need for Speed team. Apart from the cops, which seem to be on steroids, like for fuck's sake. They would throw themselves in front of you if it means that they'll take away like half of your health, even if it means that their car will get completely destroyed. Okay, this guy is someone better than Bob without this one, the rest of the stream like him. And here I am lapping the 7th place. This is what I'm talking about. Easy is either too hard or too easy. There's no actual fuck. You got a second, it's 2 kilometers. That's good enough. Going batshit crazy over one single mistake right now. The only thing I'm losing is some time. But yeah. I'm not the type of person who really care about the times I get in my races. It's just about the fact that it's not taking longer to grind the money I want. If I take longer in races. By the gun 6th place I think, and that's the race. Anyway, I'll go to this other race, where the fuck it was. Okay, here. No, not here, here. Since it pays so much. I'm going to do that one, and then I'll switch tonight and do some leveling up, because I'm really close to level 47. And then that's 3 more levels until level 50, so I can actually get the coins. I hope I've been saying the name correctly and not butchering it. because if I am, that would be so fucking funny. To see that the name was something else and I've just been fucking him up the whole live stream. But I think the name was the Cody Sag. I think it's the same in every single Speed game which has it. You see that fucking idiot stopped his car in the middle of the intersection. And I don't understand doing it because you're scared, but these people seem to do it intentionally. First of all. Second of all, even if you're scared, the best advice if you see somebody speeding towards you or behind you on a highway is not to go to the side or try to make room for them. Because likely whenever somebody is speeding behind you, they've already got a plan. They've already got a route in their mind which they're gonna take to go past you. So if you try to give them space, they likely change lanes at the same time as you and they'll run into you. It's best to stay predictable, not helpful, because by being helpful, you can actually mess up the other people and get yourself killed in the process. Just do whatever you're doing, is try to be predictable and the guys will speed past you in no time. There's no point in trying to be helpful to the other person. Because all you're gonna do is mess up his plans of going around him. And it will either end up in an accident or just fucking up traffic. People that have been playing this game, especially this game of Speed, you know what I'm talking about. Because let's say you're speeding and there's an intersection in front. You see that there's a guy pulling in the intersection, he's going straight forward, you're about to T-bone him. Now, let's say he continues on the road he's been going on. At the same speed and the same everything, you've already planned where you're going and you know how to go around him. But instead of continuing on the same road at the same speed, he stops in the middle of the intersection and then you run into him because you thought he'd continue moving. But instead, you pull to the left, he stops moving, and instead of going behind him, you're going to run straight into him, T-bone, which is either going to cost you the race or miss some time on the race. And to either even end up in you fucking up your car. Now I'm talking specifically for night time, because that's when this is the most noticeable, since there are actually cars on the road during nighttime races. During daytime, if you cannot tell already, the traffic shutdowns and also cars. Well, there's no cars at all except for the participants in the race. Another point about this game is I've seen that sometimes if you use the handbrake to do a 180 drift and then you come to a complete stop, sometimes your car will get stuck in like the third or fourth gear, whichever one you were in, and you won't be able to move your car. One time I even lost my I lost one of the important races because of that. I tried to be a smart ass and finish the race with a drift. I drifted way too early and I stopped before the end of the race. And I couldn't hit the finish line. Guess why? Because my engine fucking died and I couldn't go back into the first gear. I was stuck into the third gear and I could not move. I tried to do everything and it just wouldn't work. I think that ultimately you just have to wait for your guy to change into the first gear, because I don't think there's anything you can do yourself to remedy this. Wait and eventually your guy who will bang your character will just fix it for you. And from what I've noticed, you can't even use nitro, so I'm not sure if it's some kind of glitch or if it's actually intended that your engine kinda dies whenever you do that shit. Because I cannot use nitro either. Usually if you're standing still, you should also be able to use nitro. Because from what I know, using nitro is basically making your car accelerate even if you're not touching the gas, so that you do not waste it. So I tried to do something like this, but I was going way too slow, so I stopped before the finish line. Yeah, my fucking car got stuck. And that's how I lost my first place. I think I finished in the second place. Or something like that at least. And if I remember right, it was one of the first, if not the first nighttime race you do in the game. Okay, how much money does this give now? 48,000. It actually depreciated in value quite a lot after the first race, which is pretty surprising. Now 24,000 for this 160 recommended race is quite a lot. I was thinking that right now. Having a race with 350 and then a race with 160, and the one with 160 pays half of what the 350 does. It's kinda weird. Okay. Oh, fucking hell, I'm tired. So I got 500 grand. I could actually play a few more races and then get the engine. But instead I'll go to the garage. I'll see both of the engines for both the Corvette and the Porsche. And I'll see which one is more worth it. Whenever I started playing this game, I had a really big problem with loading screens. They seemed so long, but then I just stopped giving a fuck. Like, it does that thing where it gives you a 360 view of your car and it just shows you different things of your car. Like the stop lights for some reason. And then I just started looking at the car and appreciating the beauty of it instead of complaining about the loading screens. And that's how I overcome this difficulty of having to wait for races. Now I just don't give a fuck anymore. And whenever I'm playing on night and there's like a cop right next to me, if he hasn't yet saw me, I'll try to get into a race ASAP so that I can get rid of him. Because for those who haven't played the game yet or who won't play the game, if you're being chased by the cops actively, then you cannot enter any race. You have to escape them. And why I'm saying actively is because you can either be chased actively or after you escape them, there will be a short period of time where more cops will spawn in the general area of where you escaped, and they'll be patrolling the area for you. And if they find you, then you're gonna have a bigger problem than racing. You're gonna have the problem of having to escape like 5 cars of police. Why is it taking so long for this thing to load? If the game crashes, I'll have to... Oh my god. I hope it's not stuck like it did yesterday, because then I have to restart the game, and if I do that, it's going to close the stream. Oh my god. The screen turned black. It's not taking me to the garage. I think the game is frozen. I think it's some kind of bug. Oh, come the fuck on! Let me in the garage. I'm pressing every button on my controller. There's no press X to enter garage or anything, so it's not gonna help, but still. I'm gonna give it like 1 more minute and then I'm gonna restart my game. I feel like by this point half of the people watching the stream right now would be asleep. Okay, I think the game is just stuck in this loading screen. So I'm actually sorry, but I have to restart my game. In fact, I'm pretty much sick of playing this game. At this point, I think I'll go play something else. Maybe I'll stream Sniper Ghost Warrior. Because I got a game recently and it's not too bad. Or maybe I'll do something else, I'm not actually sure yet. I haven't played Prison Architect in a long time, so I should... Yeah, actually I'll go play that. I'll play Prison Architect and I'll... What the fuck? I found some achievement I have on the game. Okay. Anyway, I'll boot up Prison Architect really quickly and we'll do some chilling on that game. Well, I don't think it's gonna be chilling because I'm probably gonna have like 5 prison outbreaks during the duration of the stream, but still. It depends, because I have more jails, and if I go... Give me a second.